Yes. And this is the first episode of Real Talk with
Ruinz Ason
and myself, Jflames. And for those that know us, know that we've been in this music industry for a while, and we're very outspoken people, both of us. We're brothers. I started out as a producer. Ason started out as the artist.
Yep.
And we was touring everywhere. It was touring Europe, touring the UK as like a duo. And I've then gone on to do solo stuff. Ason's then gone on to do solo stuff, but we always link back up and we always do music and have great conversations. So those people around the world know that, every time you meet up with Ason and Jflames, the conversation will always get deep,
So deep that people run away.
Yeah.
That's how deep it gets. So, when we do these videos now, there's no running away from the deepness.
No running away from the deepness. We got to face it. So a couple months ago, I said to Ason that I was like, look, I'm starting a YouTube channel, and at some point we need to do our podcast, and we just need to call it Real Talk, because that's what we deal with, innit? Real talk, you get me? So yeah, man, today's subject, it's a deep one as always, but we're gonna focus on when is the right time to end relationships.
And that's like what? Any relationship?
Any relationships, man. Any relationships between partners, between friends, between family. Like, when is the right time to decide that you want to end a relationship that is going a way that you're not comfortable with it going?
Here's the thing, but there's never going to be a right time to end it for the other person.
Yeah, no, for real.
Because it's very rare that two people come together in any type of relationship, a friendship, family, and be like, right, we're going to end this relationship. Most times you have to tell a man, yo, this conversation has ended. Sometimes you just have to just be bait, And, man's told a few people that with those words, and I've been told that certain times.
Yep, same.
So it's like, the thing with relationships are weird anyway, as you know, like, because relationships are usually set on what one person can do for another person.
100%.
And sometimes it's not even like something where it's like an actual, what can I do for you? Sometimes it's just your time, just being there, just all the time for somebody to project their feelings on or rant to. That's a part of being a friendship, but some friendships can be based on that. So I guess that's the type of friendship that we're talking about. It's like when it feels like it's just one way, And them things there, we can't do them things there.
Well, no, we can't. We can't hold on to it. But I feel like, a lot of the time, we feel like, we've known these people for a long time, and, how can we just let go of something that we built for 20 years?
Yeah, but that's the thing. That see, it's that. Because I guess the type of friendships we're talking about are friends that we've known them for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's like, you've known each other for a long time, but then you kind of start splitting ways.
Yeah.
One's going that way, one's going that way, and you're only friends with each other because, I've known you for a long time, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And them type of friendships, they're like pond water. It's stale. You know what I mean? Like,
Pond life.
Yeah. The ones where the water don't move.
Yeah.
So somehow out of nowhere, tadpoles and all types of creatures just appear in this pond because it's stale and it's contaminated. Because it's not flowing. It's like anything that don't flow and it's stale and you're holding on to it and you're trying to preserve it. It's dead. And you gotta let go. And it's like a lot of friendships, especially like where we're from in the hood, like, let's keep it real.
Yeah.
A lot of friendships are just based on how long you know each other, even if that person, you can't even stand them, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, we are from the hood. The background behind us might be a beach with with palm trees. Yeah, we ain't decided what we're gonna put back there.
Even though we're in the garden,
but we're in the garden right now, isn't it? And it's 36 degrees in Babylon. Yeah,
and it just tried to rain and sabotage our fear. But nah. Listen, we got fire to burn today. Listen, no water is gonna douse this fire.
No water is gonna douse this, man. So yeah, personally, I've had a lot of relationships that have come up in the last couple of months, and I've had to reevaluate some of these relationships in terms of, am I getting any nutrient from it? Is this relationship growing? Are we growing as adults? You know, is it still something I should be holding on to? Should I still be there?
The
for
thing
this
is,
person?
if you're asking yourself, is that something you should be holding on to? You kind of know it isn't.
Facts.
Because like if you got something going on good, yeah, you would never ask yourself, should I be holding on to this?
That's facts.
You
Still.
get what I'm saying? So like when we come to a point where like we're asking ourselves, yo, like, what should man be holding onto this? It means that it's already slipped out of your hand.
It's dead already.
It's
man.
dead. It's pond life, bruv.
It's dead. So what is
Hashtag pond life.
it? Hashtag pod life. So what is it that makes us want to hold on?
Boy,
Why am I holding on to? And I know I can speak for a lot of our viewers and stuff like. Why are we holding on to these detrimental relationships that are?
I think that we don't. I feel like just not even just friendships, yeah. But I feel like we just don't know how to have relationships. We don't know how to have friendships. We've seen a lot of like toxicity in it. So it's like we don't know, except for like in the movies, we don't know how to be a friend to another person because we don't know how to be a friend to ourselves. Let's be honest. How many people know how to be a friend to themselves, bro? Most people's inner mind and their thoughts are telling them all types of bad things about themselves. That's why they do all types of things to distract them from you know what I mean? Whether it's like drugs, whether it's sex, whether it's girls, whether it's meditation, whether it's yoga. People are always trying to do things to distract them from themselves, from parts of themselves that they don't like. You understand? So it's like most people are not even, you know, most people do destructive behavior. You understand? Like
Facts,
I drink,
facts.
I smoke. I know these things ain't amazing, but these are my vices. I know they're destructive behaviors. So in the same way, I'm learning to be a friend to myself. So I'm learning to be a better friend to other people, and at the same time realize the type of friends I want in my life. But that starts with how I treat myself.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, and then it just brings up an even deeper conversation. Is the fact that we would keep, you know, certain bad mind people around us. Has it got something to do directly with the love that we have for ourselves?
Yeah, 100%. It's like why, like again, it goes back to that self destruction, yeah, that we do. It's kind of like it's encouraged, isn't it? It's like how we treat ourselves, and like, you know, every single day we're inundated with the latest distraction, the latest this, the latest news, the latest gossip, like whose life is fucked up, like what's the next newest thing. We're inundated with so many different things, and a lot of those things are destructive, even down to the music and the shit that we ingest. It's destructive shit. You understand what I'm saying? But that's shit that we're ingesting. So it's like, how can we know how to be constructive with other people when we're ingesting destructive shit?
That's facts right there, man.
Yeah, and it's like a ripple effect. It just keeps on going. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you look, you're trying to grow. So like you're a person now where you're trying to grow and you're trying to have people around you that are trying to support you on that. You know what I mean? But then you kind of have to look around. You have to kind of look around who are the people around me, and are they really supporting me?
Yeah.
Like how many people have bought this T-shirt? How many people have bought this merch? Do you understand? Like watching this, have you bought this? Have you? And you call yourself our friends. Like, have you bought this?
Well, that's facts. You know, that's facts. And you know, I really had to, when I released this merch, by the way, I really had to think to myself, like, do I want people around me that are calling me every day and pretend to be my friends or whatever it may be, and they wouldn't even support me on a little thing like a T-shirt? I really had to just deep it, and I think to myself, wow, do I have to force you to buy a T-shirt?
I remember when you told me that you sent out the broadcast and you was like, boom, this is what it is. And in a way, it's because it is what it is, but in a way, you have to see who's who. Do you understand?
Facts.
And like, we have a lot of love in our heart. Like we are some of the kindest, most compassionate, most generous people.
Exactly. I always say, you know, we're the first people to support our friends.
Of course.
You know, our community. We're the first people. If someone released something, we'll be there. Listen, I remember, when we had free tickets to go and see Prince. Yeah.
Oh man.
R.I.P. the great one.
There's not many things I regret, but I think I regret that.
I mean, I think about it at least once a month, man. We had free tickets to go and see Prince, and because of the loyalty and the type of people we are, yeah, we turned that down to go to one of our friends'
and
concerts.
support her show.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Partly because I helped her get the show, yeah.
Yeah, facts.
But
yeah,
man, like, you know, like, with no disrespect to the artists I'm talking about, but that artist ain't even making music anymore.
yeah, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I don't really regret many things in life, but my loyalty and our loyalty, like, I grew up thinking that loyalty and knowing, and still do, thinking loyalty is the most important thing in any relationship. And it's like, I feel like as I've got older over the years, I just haven't seen that
Yeah,
from many people in return. And it hasn't shaken my loyalty, but it's definitely made me very wary and at the same time cutthroat. You know what I mean? Like I'm cutthroat right now. Like, you know, in it. Like, I'm so cutthroat,
Yeah.
but I'm so unapologetic
Yeah,
right now
same.
because I have to be. Because if
Yeah.
I'm not like this, who's gonna be there looking out for me?
this is it.
Who's
This is
gonna
it.
be there looking out for me?
It's like a part of it is kind of protecting your sanity in
I
a
have
way.
to, because if I don't, and who's gonna be there doing it if I don't?
True.
Because in my life, like, you know, like, in my life, I've been there for everyone. I've been there for so many people. I've been there for everyone. I've even been there for people when I didn't even want to be. That's how it really is.
You've been there for people over the Prince.
And some of the disrespect
Yeah,
that people try to show back in return is it's made me really look at things and made me really realize, you know what? If I continue being like this, it's gonna change me as a person, and I don't ever want to change who I am. I want to be that guy that's still putting on rappers, still putting on producers,
yeah,
still
yeah.
helping people, still mentoring people, still giving people time. I still want to be that, but I've learned and I've grown and I've understood I can be that, but I need boundaries.
Boundaries is the main thing.
Strong boundaries.
I mean, like, if we touch on that disrespect real quick, we was having this conversation off camera and the other day, and I remember I was saying, what is it about when you're so nice to somebody, right, and you're there for them, they feel like they can disrespect you? Like, it's, I give everyone that's watching an example, which I gave you the other day. It's like, you know, when you go into the Jamaican shop and you go and order your patty or your dumpling, and you go in and you're like, yeah, excuse me, can I get one patty please and 2 dumplings? We don't have that. We don't have that. You know what I'm saying? What you want? What you want? But then you see the man behind you come in and he's like, right, 3 dumpling, and 1 patty. And all right, darling, okay, anything else? And it's like, rotted. Like, I try to show you respect. What? Touch on that for a second, man.
You know what it is? I think it's like, this is going to sound mad, but I feel like when you approach some people in a way that they're not used to being approached, it startles them. They don't know how to act. And I don't even think sometimes it's a conscious thing. I think if people are so used to being approached in a certain way, like, yo, can I get that? No, please. You come in and you're like, hi, please. Sometimes the person, you know, might be like, whoa. But sometimes the person, man, I ain't got no time for that, man. I don't even want to be here right now. You understand? Just order your thing, man, and they don't care how you're being. But some people, it will make their day, like walking and seeing someone and just giving them a smile. Some person that will make their day. Some people, you walk in them smile, they're looking at you like, what's wrong with this brother? So, like, it's one of those ones where it's like, not everyone's gonna match your energy. But then at the same time, you can't try to match their energy all the time, because that's just gonna leave you drained. So it's like, I don't know, man. I reckon every situation is different, but it's all about, I think, not dropping your own vibration to a lower one because other people are on a lower vibration. I think keeping your vibration, and keeping yourself is the aim of the game, no matter what people are chucking at you. Like that resilience, you know?
So, definitely, I agree with all of that. So, going back to the topic at hand, which is when do you know when to end a relationship? I mean, there'll be some people that's out here watching and they'll be thinking to themselves, yeah, but it's not as easy to end some relationship with family members. What would you say to those people that maybe have like a relationship with a family member that they might not be able to end so easy for whatever reason that may be?
I think it's impossible to end something if it's ended already. And most relationships, let's be honest, they're not relationships. They've just fractured. They're already ended. You understand? So I think in that circumstance where it's like you can't, well, you can divorce your family. Can you divorce your family in England? In America, I know you can.
I know in America,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
some kids can divorce their family.
Well, boy, you know what I mean? Like, if it was in England, trust me, a lot of people would be divorcing. But yeah, no, I think what it is with family members, of course it's tough, do you know what I mean? Because you didn't choose your family. You can choose your friends. You didn't choose your family. So I think the best way to tackle that is with family members, you need to have, again, strong boundaries.
Yeah.
You need to have strong boundaries with family members. You need to, and boundaries are not barriers. It's not like placing up barriers and locking yourself away and trying to. Boundaries are saying, this is what I'm comfortable with. This is what I'm not comfortable with. This is how you can talk to me. And but if you talk to me like this, then this is the circumstance. And some family members, even though they're older than us, like parents, for example, even though some family members are older than us, you have to talk to them like a child sometimes. You have to say, yo, I am not okay with this. And be strong in that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's difficult. Do you understand? That's difficult for me. That's difficult for everybody. But at the same time, yeah, it's hard when it's family members because there's emotion and there's love there and there's a certain how can I put it? There's a certain energy and a force when you say family. It's a bond, isn't it? Even though that family may be totally toxic and destructive towards you, you still feel this attachment that allows you to be hurt over and over again. But that's when you come in with strong boundaries, and it's something that people are going to have to practice, especially with your mum or your dad, because those are like those are your first relationships, and depending on how those relationships are is gonna basically dictate how every single relationship you have. So talking about friendships, first friends you have is your mum and your dad. Yeah. So depending on what that relationship is like, is gonna definitely predetermine what your life is like going forward. Yeah, that's just so I say strong boundaries. Like, have strong boundaries. You know what I mean? And if you don't know about boundaries, then go look up boundaries and get support. Get support, man. Like you can't do everything on your own. You have to have support. You have to have someone you can talk to. You have to have friends or even some family members that you can go and just release your thoughts and you know. Exactly, because if you're the one that everyone goes to, who do you go to? Who does the go-to person go to? This is it. I've been meaning to write a song about that for ages. Yeah. Like with those words as the hook. Like, who does the go-to person go to? Exactly. Because a lot of my music is literally about that. It's like, I'm the go. Like, who do I go to? Who do you go to? Do you get what I'm saying? And that's when, like I said before, becoming a friend to yourself. Is important. Yeah. No, it is. It is. I think it's definitely. That's one of the main things. I mean, if you don't rate yourself and you don't have a certain respect for yourself, it's very difficult to be going into any type of communication or relationships with somebody and expect them to have respect for you, because there are some people out there that prey on those people with lower confidence, you know, and they can find them easily. You know, it just might just be that person that's in the club and they've noticed that, well, you've been staring at the ground all day. There's little signs that would tell that if your confidence is low, and there's people that will prey on you, you know, and they will try to get what they can get from you. And it's like definitely boundaries, but within those boundaries you got to make sure that you're building yourself up, you know. You got to make sure you're building yourself up, and 100%, bruv, you know. So let me ask you a question. Yeah, go ahead. How have you found having to sort of distance yourself from friends that, you know, you're kind of going different directions, and you're kind of holding on to that pond life, that still water, that stale piece of biscuit that's in your cupboard that's been there for months, and you're thinking, well, should I eat that biscuit because I'm hungry right now? But you know it's just been sitting there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how's that been for you? Because obviously I know you've had to do it as well as me. Yeah. How's that been for you? I mean, I should really just throw the biscuit out for the pigeons. The pigeons won't even eat that stale biscuit, blood. You get me, bruv? The pigeons won't even eat that. You have to throw that in the river, blood. Yeah. Hope that some free-eyed fish might. You know what I mean? Man. Oh man. Well, yeah. I mean, it's been a hard process, you know, and definitely with the whole situation that's been going on with the world, you know, we're not going to say it on here because we don't want to get demonetized or whatever,
But especially with the whole situation that's been going on in the world, where um, it is it is a difficult one because it's like I've known these people for a long time, and a few people I've known them for a long time, and then but then there's certain ideologies, there's certain things that are being said, and it's just or actions that ain't being done, and I got to think to myself, wait, I think we're just going in different directions,
Yeah.
and I really just had to just think to myself, you know what, I need to pull back me so I can have some time to just reevaluate certain situations and not talk so much, during certain conversations. I've been listening a lot because when you allow yourself to listen,
Listen.
you actually hear what the person's saying to you.
I always say that, bruv. You see,
You know,
most conversations I have, I listen. I have a segment where I'll like talk in it. I'll do my monologue.
yeah,
But most of a conversation, most times actually, like it's subconscious because when I speak to somebody, I'll just listen for the first part of the conversation.
yeah,
I just want to listen because I want to gauge
Same.
the energy. I want to hear what's going on because I feel like the more you listen
yeah,
to anybody, don't matter who it is the more intelligent you get.
facts.
Like listening to people is education.
Hmm.
Do you understand? Even if, especially if it's things you don't agree with,
Yeah,
because if you can allow yourself to really get in to empathically understand another person's perception and understand how it could be true to them, and you can understand that even though it's not true to you, and you can understand, I don't agree with what he's saying,
yeah,
but he believes in what he's saying, and I can see what he's saying that's truth to him, and I can hold that same truth with my truth in the
Yeah.
same place
yeah,
and hold that. Then you can see every single angle. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You can
yeah.
see everything. You're already in the future before the person's even said
Mhm.
it. So I find listening to people and I ain't gonna lie, some people I just diagnose them straight away. I just know what it is. Do you know what I mean? But like every situation's different.
Every situation you got to handle it different, and we say this to let people know that when we're talking, we're not trying to talk from a place of we know it all. We're talking from the fact that we was those people. We was those same people. When I look back at it now, you know what? People probably they had to separate from
Yeah,
me.
100%.
You know?
You know how many, bruv, do you know how many people here, bruv, that I know had to separate from me because they just know that it ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
I'm stubborn in my ways,
yeah.
and they're stubborn in their ways.
Trust.
And sometimes it's just like, so you're saying like end the relationship. Sometimes relationships just end mutually, and that's sometimes the most beautiful way, because you're both going different ways, and you're on this frequency and they're on that frequency, and the sun's just came out, so it's gonna get brighter, and that's gonna be a dope effect.
Yeah.
See, we're working with the elements right now.
I think right now we should bring some dolphins swimming in the back.
Yeah. Oh, what about sunset?
Dolphins, then sunset.
Sunset.
Boom, right there.
Okay. And yeah, man, so it's like I don't know, I just think everything should be dealt with in a way where there's some type of growth and healing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the thing with growth and healing is it changes all the damn time.
It changes all the time.
You know?
And yeah, it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things that's part of life, to be honest with you. People come, people go. I mean, some people you just hold on to and hold on to and hold on to, and yeah, you're probably better off severing some of those ties, man. Especially if it's bringing you to a dark place. If it's bringing you to a dark place, and it's bringing up certain things that you have personally got over, but this other person hasn't, and you've been trying and trying and trying to help this person get over this thing, and they just can't. And every time they're speaking to you about that, is you just feel like it's dragging you back to a place where you've already dealt with, and it's just like, yo.
And it can make you come off aggressive.
Yes, definitely.
It can make you come off like you're putting them down or something. Because it's like, for example, like, so I've been working on myself spiritually for years and years and years. I've been healing from a lot of traumas and yourself and things that we've been through. And So I've put into practice, and I've been working, and it's not been easy. It's been hard. There's been up moments, there's been down moments, but my goal, I'm so committed to healing. I'm so committed to learning to love myself and learning to love what I don't like about myself, and that's powerful. And it's like there's certain stages to this growth thing. There's certain stages to this elevation, certain stages, and the reality of it is that some people are not at the same stage you're at, and some people are at a further stage than you're at. But the thing is, sometimes what I find is if you're talking to somebody that isn't necessarily at the stage you're at of learning to love what you don't like about themselves, if you're kind of triggering things in themselves they don't like, that can be very uncomfortable, and that could be projected onto you as you're making them feel some type of way.
Definitely.
And oh man, I've definitely faced that a lot in my life, of people taking my intentions in the wrong way. And sometimes that, that's not only difficult for me, that's difficult for that person. And sometimes friendships can end because the communication isn't as strong as it could be. If we, especially you get into an ego battle.
Oh man,
hey, getting it,
that's gonna have to be a whole other subject for a whole other time. The ego battle. I'll be honest with you.
It does.
Yeah.
But I think you know what, I'm gonna say something controversial. I think the best time to answer your question on the topic, I think the best time to end a relationship is when you and that person is just totally interacting with each other through the ego.
Yeah.
Or if you're a person that's trying to drop your ego, that person that you're interacting with keeps on triggering your ego. I think when you get into one of those type of relationship where it's just ego based, I think the relationship is done. And the best way to end it is through love. And sometimes that takes one person being the bigger person, whether that's to not argue, whether that's just to understand that person's where they are and you're where they are, and you're always going to be there. Listen, anyone watching this right now that is relating to anything that I'm saying because they know me personally, I want them to know I love you. You understand? And sometimes love can mean we have to distance, and I'm always going to be there for all of my friends. You know what I mean? It's never going to be a thing where, but I'm on a certain path and you're on a certain path, and you know that, and the door is always open for people to holler at us, but you have to holler at us at the level we're at, because we're no longer going to come down to a level where we don't need to be at, because it's destructive. You understand? So I don't know. I think the best, I think that's my answer, man. Like, when your relationship becomes purely based on ego and battling, boom, boom, back and forth, it's time to separate, man. Because you're just triggering that person gonna trigger you. You know?
Yeah, man.
But love, man, love to everybody. Like,
love to everyone,
man, don't hold no malice.
We don't hold no malice at all, man. We don't hold no malice at all.
You know.
And I think we kind of touched on that.
But what do you think, though? Best way to, how to know when to end a relationship? What about?
I know what you guys are thinking. What the hell is going on? It was just about to get even more deep, but the battery died on the camera. But you know what? It's cool because we recorded the audio separately, so we're gonna continue the podcast, Real Talk with Ruinz Ason Jflames right now.
A romantic relationship, a relationship you've been with somebody, and it's pun life, it's still, and it's like, when's the best time to end a relationship?
Okay, so like a romantic relationship, I mean, like, probably the best time to end a relationship is when you have that feeling inside of you when you're meant to be meeting that person today. I don't know if you meet each other 3 times a week, and those 3 times a week you're dreading it.
Come like a chore.
It comes like a chore. Like, we've all been there, you know, and you're meant to have a feeling of when you're meant to go and see your significant other. Like, I'm gonna go see my babe today or whatever. But when that day comes round and that feeling in your stomach is disgust, like, not even to be rude, but if it's disgust,
you say when it's no longer butterflies, it's moths.
It's moths.
You got moths in your stomach.
You got when you got moths in your stomach,
trying to fly to the light, boy.
Mad, you know what I'm saying? Listen, when you got moths in your stomach, man, believe that moths come from flies. I don't know. They come from fly eggs, right?
Yeah.
They come from fly eggs. You get me? So, yeah, for me, I would say probably that's the best time to kind of exit the situation. Obviously, there's so many. There's a list of other things as well. But for me personally, that's the main thing I would do, man, when I'm dreading seeing that person. What about you? What was?
When to end a relationship? When to end an entanglement? Trust me, I've had so many entanglements, bruv. I'm back to front, bruv. Bruv, I've had so many entanglements in my life, bruv. I'm literally like crisscross, bruv. I'm back to front, bruv. I'm like a Nancy's web, bruv. I'm tied up, bruv. I'm twisted soul, bruv. You get me? I'm like a pretzel, blood. You get me? That entanglement that I've had, bruv. You know what I mean? But so I'm probably the worst person to ask when's the best, because I never know. And that's the real honest answer. I never know personally. And that's something that, boy, I'm going to have to work on, bruv. I'm going to have to find a way to get out of that spider web, bruv. Because obviously I'm not in nothing now like that, but looking back on my life, one of my problems, and I've just probably realised, is that I never knew when to end a relationship.
Yeah. Nah, I got to agree. And yeah, I just realised that we're kind of running past 30 minutes now.
30 minutes, boy.
Yeah,
Boy.
battery's about to die on the camera and that. So, yeah, man, Ason.
Hey, let us know whether we should do more of these, you know what I mean?
Let us know, man.
Well, it's going to be coming anyway, but let us know.
Coming.
Real talk with Ruinz Ason Jflames.
Yep.
You get me?
Go on, check out the merch. Yeah.
What are you saying? What should we end with on this?
Entanglement? No, I'm joking. What should we end with on here? You know what? We're going to end with a big love heart. Yeah?
Love. Purple love.
Purple love.
Yeah, man.
All right. Peace.
Look, you mash up the set.